In this video, I'll be demonstrating file transclusion. It's divided up into three parts. The first part will be about getting the file in to the correct directory and creating a link that can be pasted into a note. The second part will be about the actual transclusion of the file, by this I mean opening it up in place in its default application. And finally, I'm going to show you how I use this in a processing a PDF workflow, kind of a bonus section at the end. Now let me orient to what we're seeing. This is my classic two-window workflow. On the left is Finder. On the right is the archive, my archive. And I have a note open which I use for testing different archive features and also for testing keyboard Maestro macros. You won't be able to see my keystrokes as I implement them. The keystroke display software that I have doesn't play well with keyboard Maestro macros, so I turned it off. Here now I've triggered the macro that's copying the file from Finder and placing the link in the clipboard. Archive, and I just Command V, will paste the contents of the clipboard in, and there we go. We have a picture of that I just had copied in, just like that. Pretty simple. Because the link is still on the clipboard, it can be placed in multiple notes, depending upon whether or not that's appropriate or not. Okay, let's transclude a couple of files. Let's start with the MP3. I've launched it by triggering the keyboard Maestro macro that transcludes the file, and there it's launched in the QuickTime player. It doesn't play automatically, but in this case it's a good thing because it's going to keep me from the copyright horrors of YouTube. And we can see a recording can easily be attached. We'll transclude a PDF now. This is a PDF of a spreadsheet, and we'll look at these, how PDFs are used in this much more closely in the upcoming in the future part of this series. Now we'll take a look at a numbers file. This is a spreadsheet of my project called Ducks, interestingly enough. Anyways, so this is how you open up a spreadsheet in with the transclusion file. Last but not least, we'll take a look at how we would open up a file. And this is a little bit trickier. It's a PNG file opened up in this case in Affinity Photo. And what I've had to do is I've had to change the default app association to get the file open in the app other than the one that Apple condones. But it can be done. Here we are looking at my production archive. Let's focus on the right. Here we see a note I've started and the associated PDF is attached. The note is in my proofing oven. During my monk morning routine, I'll look at this note and launch the PDF with the file transclusion macro to start my work. I'm not finished reading this file, so I launch it with the keyboard Maestro trigger, and it launches into this other window, and it takes me directly to the spot where I last left off. I do use this red line there that reminds me of my place marker. This is a 30-page PDF, and I've only read halfway done with it. This PDF is by Richard Hammond, who gave a talk at Belcourt. He's a computer and telecom mathematician, very prominent in his field. Very interesting take on you and your research. Goes quite along with the link is in the post that goes along with this video. Okay, now if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, corrections, snipes, snarky or otherwise, I'm soliciting them, and please provide them in the forums. Thanks.